PrinceWilliamLife.com radio. News and information about Prince William County, Virginia.
Bill Golden here with PrinceWilliamLife.com and my co-host, Josh Zuckerberg of the Zuckerberg clan of Zuckerbergs, wherever Zuckerbergs are sold or bought around the world. Josh, how you doing?
I'm doing well, but before we get started into this show, Bill, I just want to tell you we've got to work on your jokes, man, because this is the third week in a row you've used the Zuckerberg reference, and it's not just your fault. It's like everyone else's fault. When I go to career fairs, tech expos,
or you go to like Walmart and they go, "Hello, Mr. Zuckerberg."
Exactly.
I use your stuff.
Exactly. But I give them my card, they look at my name, and they look back at me and they're like, "So, you related to that Facebook guy?" Now listen, America. If I was somewhat related to Mark Zuckerberg, and if I got just a portion of what he is worth...
And Josh generally doesn't have more than $10 at a time.
Do you even think I'd be here right now? I mean, seriously, if I had his money, I'd be at home right now, chilling on the couch, listening to Prince William Life Radio.
Well, that's a good deal. That's a good deal. Because Prince William Life Radio is an experiment in just like everything else we do here. Like... well, there's so many things that happen. So how was your, it's Wednesday, but how did your weekend go?
It was good. It was obviously Easter Sunday.
I love Easter. Chewing the ears off of chocolate bunnies everywhere.
Exactly. Saturday I had class, of course, which was boring, but hey, had to go to class. And then Sunday went and chilled with the family, went Easter egg hunting, ate a good bucket of KFC chicken because it's my family's tradition.
Well, at your age, you can do that. At my age, a bucket of KFC chicken is like heart attack guaranteed within 20 minutes.
Exactly. So, yeah, that was my week. And then now up to Wednesday, life's pretty good. Can't complain. How about you?
Doing great, doing great. This weekend, of course, I worked out in the yard a lot. And I did do my best to cheer. I don't know why, Some people like the toes. I like the ears on Easter bunnies. You can have the rest of the bunny. But yeah, so I worked out in the yard and everything. And of course, this week's been great because it is the week before soccer season kicks off, where we have our first games across Northern Virginia and Prince William County here on this coming Saturday. And my team plays at Veterans Park in Featherstone and Woodbridge, 5:30 p.m. So if you want to come out and see a great game, look at my team romp and stomp and hopefully win.
Lots of memories at that field.
Yes, well, you played soccer for me for a number of years, and all the best people that I know played soccer, unless they played something else. So what else do you have there?
Well, I'm going to be starting with the news. I was reading InsideAnova.com this morning and came across some interesting news topics that I thought you listeners out there would like to hear about. And so I'm going to start off with The Simpsons cartoon. You remember The Simpsons cartoon growing up?
Growing up? We had Fred Flintstone and Barney.
Oh, that's right.
And life was a lot like they lived life on TV, so we thought that was pretty darn funny.
Well, The Simpsons creator has revealed where the real Springfield is located.
It's 16 miles from here.
No, not that Springfield, Virginia. The Springfield in Oregon, all the way over on the other side.
Who knew they had a Springfield? Are there cities in Oregon?
I never knew that. I thought Oregon was just its own state.
Our Springfield has been kicked to the curb?
Exactly.
Was traffic that bad?
I think so. But one of the best kept secrets in television history has been revealed, and with The Simpsons creator Matt Groening pointing to Springfield, Oregon as the inspiration for the animated hometown of Homer and his dysfunctional family. Matt also explains that he figured out that Springfield was one of the most common names for a city in the U.S., which I thought was pretty interesting.
Hey, everyone's got one.
Yeah, exactly. So.
Well, so we have a special guest today at 5:30, Mr. Al Alborn, and many of you know Mr. Al Alborn, and we will have an interview with him later today. Well, of course we are at 5:30. What am I saying? I mean, we will put the interview up online on the website later today as well. And it's going to be an interesting interview. Al Alborn, I welcome almost any visitor that wants to be on the air and put up with my questions. And I do let you pick a few of your own questions, like I always ask, what would you like me to ask you? What would you like me to ask you, Josh?
What I want to do with my life.
Yes, but you're too young really to worry about that because anything you decide is going to be the wrong answer. You will just discover it like the rest of us did. In fact, I asked myself that question. It wasn't until age 32 that I found out.
Wow.
Yes, and the answer was whatever. So yeah, I mean, I just once I was pretty darn happy once I made up my mind that whatever will happen, and I'll just deal with it as it comes. But Al Alborn will be with us today, our special guest at 5:30, and I will ask him some questions. And if you want to come on the program, I'll be glad to interview you. But I get to ask some questions too, and there are you're allowed to tell me that certain things are off limits. We're not here to nail anyone to a cross. We're here to have some fun, and we try to have fun all the time, 24/7. But Al is a little bit different in that this will be our first political interview.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Al is a big libertarian, and a lot of people think they know what libertarian means, and maybe some of them actually do. And I've met libertarians that really didn't know either. So, but Al is a big libertarian, so I look forward to that. Al has written a piece on his own blog, and we published it on princewilliamlife.com, called "I Believe Corey Stewart Will Be a Great Lieutenant Governor." So we are politically neutral on princewilliamlife.com. We are openly skeptical of anyone that opens their mouth and says, "Vote for me and I will do." But that said, we would like to see good people elected.
Yes.
And we always look forward to publishing your opinion. So I'm not really sure why. We tend to have a lot of pro-Republican items on our website, but reality is, unless you're a communist, we're willing to publish your opinion on Prince William Life as well. So it's really easy. Just send us a piece. And, if you want to support Homer Simpson from Springfield for governor or lieutenant governor, that's cool too. You just need to lay out your logic. And Al Alborn laid out his logic called "Why I Believe Corey Stewart Will Be a Great Lieutenant Governor." And you can find that on the princewilliamlife.com homepage.
The funny thing is, one of our techies was telling me that we might have some North Koreans listening to this radio station.
North Koreans. Oh, my God. Real communists. I guess if you could call them communists.
Pretty interesting.
Yeah. And, we have, if you go to our homepage, you'll notice there's a new Live 365 app.
Very
So
very
if
cool.
you live in North Korea, you can listen to princewilliamlife.com every week. And we play music whether you like it or not, and we have commercials, and we put our news and some other things on there. But all you have to do is click. You got to wait about 10 seconds. It's not the fastest loading app, but what the heck. When I wake up in the morning, I'm not the fastest to move around either. So what's some of the news you have, other than Springfield happens to be in Oregon, rather than just 16 miles away?
Well, as the nice weather has approached, except for today,
Today's freezing cold.
I guess it's back to winter. Virginia officials are advising the residents in our local area to be on the lookout for black bears. The Virginia game officials are advising residents that black bears are on the move, and people will need to keep food sources in their yards to a minimum to keep the critters from becoming visitors. The Department of Game and Inland Fisheries say bears generally avoid humans but may wander into suburban areas in search of a meal. The department says bears are most commonly attracted to bird feeders, garbage, and pet food. They also can be lured by outdoor grills, livestock food, fruit trees, and beehives. The department says household trash or anything that smells like food shouldn't be stored in vehicles or on porches or decks, and trash containers should be kept inside and taken to the curb only on the day of collection, not the night before. So be on the lookout for black bears.
I haven't seen any black bears in my part of Prince William. And of course, I live in the Dale City Woodbridge area, where we only have black cars that speed fast. We could have black bears, I guess. I have seen foxes.
Yeah.
What kind of live critters do you have in your neighborhood?
Well, I live in a really huge neighborhood, so there's really not many trees.
Nowhere to hide in between meals?
No, and our neighborhood is called Lake Terrapin, and even though we have a lake, it's a man-made lake.
And no terrapins?
Yeah, exactly. But I'm not a big fan of snakes, not a big fan of spiders, really not just, I hate every animal except for a dog. But no, I haven't really seen any live critters outside of dogs.
Well, that's incredible. Dogs. Dogs are cool.
Yes.
So Manassas Patch has an interesting article today. And the article is called Sea Perch. Now, I don't know that we live close enough to actually be near any sea perch. I'm sure there's some sea perch somewhere. But until I find that article, which has mysteriously disappeared, do you know that Osborne High School just had 2 Volkswagen Beetles donated to it?
Really?
Really? So I am looking for a small used car myself. I'd like a small new car, but they probably want money for that. So
Yeah.
I'm looking for a small used car. And I have 2 bicycles that I'm willing to trade for it or give you for free. They're probably great bikes for some child who's 8 to 11 years old, maybe a small 11. They won't be able to ride it long. They grow fast once you feed them. But anyway, whether you want to trade it to me for a small car or not, you can still have the bicycles. But Volkswagen, like the company, has donated 2 Volkswagen Beetles to the automotive shop at Osborne High School, where they have a 2-year course to help students learn occupational skills, such as how to be able to diagnose and repair cars like Volkswagens.
Yeah.
Volkswagen is cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the Volkswagen Beetle donation is great credit goes to Republican delegate Jackson Miller of Manassas and Volkswagen Group of America from Herndon, Virginia.
Wow.
I've always said if you can't drive a bug, drive a sea perch. Where is that story on the sea perch? Anyway, it's your turn.
Oh, Bill, you and your jokes.
Honest, I was going to do a story on the sea perch. You know, there was a sea perch competition from 11 to 13. I guess it swam away. What the heck is that about?
Oh, Lord. Well, I actually have some bad news to report that
Well, that's
actually
ungood.
includes you and me, because we will be heading home from BWI, Maryland, from our career fair on Friday, April 13th from 10 to 3 at the Embassy Suites. And obviously, we are going to be hitting traffic. Well, the HOV lanes on Interstate 95 in Prince William County will be closed late this week for work related to the Future Express Lanes project. According to the Virginia Department of Transportation, or VDOT, the HOV lanes will be shut down between VA 234 in Dumfries, exit 152, and Franconia Road and Old Keene Mill Road, exit 169 in Springfield between 11 p.m. Friday, April 13th, and 10 a.m. Saturday, April 14th. The road will open to northbound traffic in stages, and the section between the Franconia-Springfield Parkway in Springfield to the Washington, D.C. line will open to northbound traffic by 2 a.m. Saturday.
So you're saying hell will be even more hellish come the end of the week.
Basically. I mean,
We couldn't like start the week off with hell and it just get better?
right? This couldn't happen on Monday rather than Friday.
Gosh, it's going to be a bad day. We are going to be, as Josh said, and I'll let Josh finish his story. And besides, he's used to me interrupting because that's what I do best. Friday, we are going to be up at the Embassy Suites Hotel in BWI, Maryland. You know, PrinceWilliamLife.com is brought to you by USA Job Zoo, and USA Job Zoo is brought to you by Intelligence Careers, where we have jobs across the USA and in 28 perfectly good and nasty countries around the world, everywhere, literally doing all kinds of things. But in between our weekly radio shows and all the other things we do, we're out literally traveling the world, recruiting people for industry and for jobs. And we're going to talk about jobs later. You know, we've got some great jobs right here in Prince William County, and we would like to do whatever it takes so you don't have to drive anywhere except to a job that we have advertised, because that way we make money.
Exactly.
So as you were saying, hell is due to arrive.
Well,
It is
basically,
2012.
It is 2012, but as I was saying with the HOV lane, the entire length of the HOV lanes will be open to northbound traffic by 10 a.m. Saturday through 11 a.m. Monday, April 16th. According to VDOT, crews will be testing bearings, utility markings, and do survey work and collect road condition data for their final design of the I-95 Express Lanes project, which is expected to be completed by 2015. Yeah, right. The $1 billion project is expected to span 29 miles between VA 610 and Stafford County to just north of Edsall Road near Springfield. For the next 4 to 6 weeks, beginning April 16th, the HOV lanes will close overnight, Monday through Thursday between 8 p.m. and 5 a.m., and Friday and Saturday nights between 10 p.m. and 11 a.m. VDOT also says that motorists should expect delays of 15 to 20 minutes during the late evening hours of the HOV gates closing. For what I just said, for more information on this, you can go to InsideInnova.com and it will be on the main page.
But we're going to post a link to that.
Yes, we will.
Yes. And so anyway, you know, I found the sea perch.
Oh.
While you were rambling on how hell is going to arrive here at the end of the week rather than at the beginning. It's terrible to have to finish a week wandering through hell. Anyway, Prince William County schools are hosting the 2012 National Sea Perch Challenge, starting today, running through Friday, when hell breaks loose because the roads clog up. Not that they're not already clogged anyway. Anyway, the actual competition will be taking place tomorrow on April 12th at Manassas Park Community Center, and the Sea Perch Challenge. And I like perch.
Yeah.
Sea perch, yeah, it's really good. Put some lemon pepper on it. I'm not sure that that's the right kind of sea perch though. Anyway, the Sea Perch Challenge challenges students to build a robot that can compete in an underwater obstacle course. Darn, I have trouble swimming in a straight line. Anyway, the robot will be expected to conduct some salvage operations challenges. And then after the competition, students are going to tour companies that specialize in robotics in the Manassas National Battlefield Park. A lot of robots on the Manassas National Battlefield Park. But anyway, I guess the cannons have moving parts on the wheels and all.
Yeah, sounds pretty interesting.
But that was an article that, Manassas Patch at manassas.patch.com is a great way to keep up with what's happening in Manassas, especially because I bet you did not know there was the National Sea Perch Challenge.
No, I did not.
And that no fish were involved, although there is water. Yes, well, life is interesting like that. So on to some serious news real quick. This morning at 11 a.m., today, April 11th, Prince William County Chairman Corey Stewart announced that he is going to run for Lieutenant Governor of the state of Virginia. And he did that at the Potomac Town Center in Woodbridge. And of course, this is really an early start because this is for the 2013 election, which is, of course, in November 2013. And let me do the math. That's like a long time from now. But I guess, you got to start early because the rest of the Virginia probably, I don't know. Do you know where Orange County, Virginia is?
No, I actually don't.
Yeah, so I don't think many people in Prince William know, but Orange County is only 2 counties from here. There's actually people from Orange County that work in Prince William Life.
Actually, I do remember Orange County. For all you young listeners out there,
remember when Josh just turned legal. Legal like drinking.
Yeah, 21, not 18.
That's right. He is phase 2 legal.
Anyways, remember when we were going to get a snow day and we'd turn on the news and wait for Prince William County schools, code red, closed, but we'd see Orange County schools closed, but not Prince William, and we were like, aren't they like 5 minutes away from us? All I know about you guys, but that really upsetted me. So yeah, go ahead with your story.
As you get closer to the mountains, of course, snow is snow and altitude matters. So does attitude, but altitude really matters when it comes to snow. One more note on Republicans. And again, if there are any Democrats or libertarians or people that I don't have to worry about getting close to, we're more than glad to put your news out too. And I know that Prince William County is pretty much a 90% Republican county. We have a couple of Democrats. I'm not sure where they are, but we do have Democrats in this county.
Didn't they open a Democrat office in Lake Ridge?
Yeah, for President Obama. So there's a piece of Democratic information. Yes, this is from last week's broadcast. So the re-elect President Obama campaign has opened an office in Lake Ridge, Virginia. So if you pass the big swimming pool in Lake Ridge as you're going towards Occoquan, and you actually hit the marina, you just went too far. Go back. There's a Democratic headquarters there somewhere to re-elect the president. I don't know quite where that is.
We'll post that on the blog.
We will find it and post it on the blog. Josh, you do that. But anyway, so Prince William Young Republicans will be meeting on Sunday, April 15th at Occoquan at Madigan's Waterfront Restaurant on 201 Mill Street in Occoquan. And if you are of the Republican persuasion and you're young, and young, I guess, is, I'm not quite sure how young you got to be. But I would guess, 35, you're really tipping the scale. So if you are 30 and under or just want to fake your age and you're of the Republican persuasion, come out and meet with Prince William area Young Republicans on Sunday at April 15th. And the topic of discussion, it will be 3 p.m. at Madigan's Waterfront Restaurant. The topic will be the state of the county. And Supervisor Corey Stewart will be there to talk about his upcoming campaign. So it should be of real interest. I don't think they're checking any cards at the door. But I don't know. What the heck?
I wonder what he will promise all of the future people that are voting for him.
Well, probably what he's been reelected a number of times in Prince William County. I've gone to see him live. Corey Stewart has a great sense of humor.
Should bring him in here.
We should probably get him in here. Yeah, we've got almost, a year and a half. We can help get him elected because we have at least 4 people in this room, to include you, me, the 2 technicians, and being all of us independents. I don't really know about the techies, but
you forgot the North Koreans.
And the North Koreans that are listening, they've got to vote for someone, and the chance to freely vote for someone is probably going to be, of interest to them. They could do an absentee ballot.
Exactly. No, we should seriously push to get him in here. That would.
We will work on that. We're still working. Speaking of pushing to do things, did you hear from the dog park people about our offer to donate $1,000 if they put our sign on the fence as you enter with your dog, but not next to the poop bags?
Okay.
We don't want to be thought of as, contributing to poop bags.
I think you're reading off my notes.
Oh, no.
I think you're reading off
Did
my
you
notes.
have no, I'm incapable of reading, besides I had my glasses off. Everything's a blur.
Well, as Bill said, I reported this last week, but I felt like I should re-announce it. A Dogs to Walk for Dog Park in Lake Ridge is underway. All that stands between area dog owners and the first dog park in eastern Prince William County is about $12,000. After a series of meetings last year, the Prince William County Park Authority and the County Planning Commission approved plans for a proposed dog park. It's an 8.5 acres at Sturbridge Road in Lake Ridge. No public money is going to the park, so funds, which is an estimated $12,000, needs to go in for fencing and about $3,000 for things like benches, trash cans, and other expenses need to be raised. Cindy Bowles, one of about 30 group members, says that we are a group that formed once we realized that we had to raise the money ourselves. Bowles is helping organize the group's upcoming Dog Walk for a Dog Park fundraiser at 10 a.m. April 28th at Lake Ridge Park. The 2.5-mile walk will take participants through the park and neighborhoods in Lake Ridge, and the cost is $5 per dog. Walkers can register online at www.pwcdogs.com or at the park beginning at 9 a.m. on the day of the walk. The group is trying to get area businesses involved and plans to have several vendors and raffles at the event. For more information about Prince William County Dogs or the Dog Walk for a Dog Park, visit www.pwcdogs.com or email princewilliamcountydogs@gmail.com. Donations for the dog park can be made to the Prince William County Parks Foundation online at www.pwcparks.org/parksfoundation. And as Bill said, our company is highly interested because almost all of us are big dog owners, and we are actually think it would be a great idea to have a dog park in this area. So if one of you 30 group members are listening, please answer my email because we are willing to make a big donation to your cause and in return for letting us advertise.
Yes. It's all about advertisement. Capitalism, that's what it's about. I give you money, you give me a way to make more money. If I get some money, then I'll give you more money. And if that doesn't happen, I guess we're both in trouble.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't get any, I don't get any, we're not happy. Anyway, homeschoolers out there, I have 2 sons. One was homeschooled and one was public schooled. And one of the challenges of homeschooling, of course, is how do you get out and get into organized sports leagues? And there recently was a bill introduced in Richmond which would have made it possible for homeschoolers to participate in sports, in the sports programs within their local schools. And that got shot down for a number of reasons. So, you know, too bad, so sad. Maybe next year there will be that option again, because even though you're a homeschooler, you do pay tax money, you do support those public schools.
Yep.
And probably, since you don't get a rebate or anything, I think it's a great idea that homeschoolers can participate, and they can, to some degree, take classes. I believe a homeschooler is allowed to take up to 2 classes in local schools. But the sports leagues are something, and I know there's a huge competition, because you graduated from Hilton. How many students went to Hilton when you went there?
Oh dear, 2,000
Yeah,
students.
so, you know, all the competition to get on like the soccer team and everything else, because it's going to come down now, just because you make a team doesn't mean you get to play. But how many players were like on the Hilton soccer team or baseball team? And
15 to 18.
15. Oh well, I guess some of them got to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean 11 on the field. Anyway, but the bottom line is, out of 2,000 students, and maybe 15 to 18 make a team, and you're going to bring in some local homeschoolers. I imagine some kids feel like, hey, I was here 6 hours all day, I should deserve a chance. But anyway, what happens if you do want to play sports in an organized fashion? To my knowledge, there is not an organized Prince William Homeschool Sports League in Prince William. Otherwise, I would say, hey, there's an organized sports league here in Prince William for homeschoolers. If you want to learn more about what is available to homeschoolers here in Prince William, you can go to homeschool-life.com and just search on Prince William. There's a board there, and they do give you links to various sports leagues that you can participate in as a homeschooler. They're not public school, but there are a ton of sports leagues that you can participate in. And in nearby Fairfax, there actually is a homeschool sports league for organized sports, or at least as organized as you can get it. And now, oh my God, my tongue just got wrapped around my 2 eye teeth and I can't see what I'm saying. The Fairfax Homeschool Athletic League has opened itself up to Prince William residents who want to participate.
Nice. That's very generous of them.
It is nice. You know, Fairfax, depending upon where you live in the county, Fairfax can be at a drive. But if you live in Manassas, or you live like Lake Ridge, Occoquan, Prince William 22192 or Prince William 22191, Fairfax is not that far away.
Those are zip codes, by the way.
Those are zip codes, by the way. That's right. Thank you. Thank you. Probably no one in Prince William would recognize that, but what do I know? What can I say? My mind just went blank.
See, Bill, you have to prepare. The number one key for radio is preparation.
Well,
now,
I prepare.
you see me preparing. You know, I do my push-ups, my sit-ups. I go for, a couple mile run.
I've been drinking coffee all day.
You drink coffee while I'm working. I mean, I give it all to this show. And here you are. You're making me look bad.
You're right. You're right.
We're making Prince William look bad. This is Prince William Life Radio.
Okay, so life. Let's get out and run around. Anyway, I'm just going to finish up on this sports thing and then whack the crap out of Josh over there. There are a ton of sports organizations for youth without you going to public schools. And they are in Prince William County. If you want to go to Fairfax, there's the Fairfax Homeschool Athletic Association. They offer volleyball, baseball, girls soccer, boys soccer, and basketball. And then the Fairfax Kings football, and they offer football, but only for older players age 14 to 18. Now here in Prince William, we have a ton of sports clubs, and my very favorite, of course, is Prince William Soccer at pwsi.org. I've been with Prince William Soccer since 1999, when somehow I got roped into coaching a team, and at one point, God knows what I was thinking, I actually coached 3 teams in one season. Some people talk about football widows. My wife used to bring food to the field. Anyway, here in Prince William, there are a ton of opportunities to play sports. Now, if you want to get into a sports team, it really is kind of way too late to join a team this season. For fall, if you want to join a fall sports league, I don't care what the sport is, you really need to be signed up by July 15th. You got that? Don't be late, because it's already too late to sign up for soccer for this spring, although we have thousands of kids playing soccer. But here are some of the sports leagues in Prince William. So whether you're a homeschooler or you're not, doesn't really matter. There's the Manassas Park Little League, the Boys and Girls Club Manassas, and they offer a ton of sports for ages 5 through 17. I mean, if it moves and there's a ball involved, the Boys and Girls Club of Manassas has that. Manassas Park Youth Football League. There's the Manassas Park Biddy League. I guess they're for the little people. Manassas Youth Football League, the American Youth Football, Manassas, a club called Mutiny. What kind of name is that for a club? Mutiny.
Like I said, Bill, preparation.
Hey, I'm prepared. Anyway, there's all kinds of things, and the rec centers have their own leagues too. Off to you, so I can make fun of you. Let me snicker at you. Ha, ha, ha. Snicker, snicker, snicker.
Well, on to another piece of news. The first fighter
Well, it's about
jet.
time. You've been letting me do all the talking
Exactly.
and making fun of me.
The first fighter jet that was responding to the 9/11 attacks at the Pentagon is heading to the Marine Museum in Quantico. If you listeners out there, if you were near Washington, D.C. on the morning of 9/11, the sight of this particular FA-18 Hornet in the sky was probably a welcoming one, even as smoke billowed upwards from the Pentagon. Well, now the historic aircraft is being readied for a new mission at the National Museum of the Marine Corps. Museum aviation curator Ben Christie said the Hornet was the first Marine asset to respond to the terrorist attacks that rocked the nation more than a decade ago. The aircraft was assigned to VMA 321, a reserve unit which was then stationed at Andrews Air Force Base, and is the first Marine aircraft to fly a protective patrol over D.C. after 9/11, he said. The aircraft, which entered the fleet in 1984, was involved in an accident during its final flight when it overshot the runway at the Marine Corps Air Facility in Quantico at the Marine Corps Base in 2004, and it has been on display at the basic school ever since. And now they're getting it ready, and they're going to polish it up, and they will get it ready for the Marine Corps Museum.
Cool. It's a cool museum.
It is very cool.
And now you're of age to drink. You know, if you go to the top of the museum, there's a cafeteria and a bar.
Yes.
Look out for the old people in there. They're old Marines that actually come with the original equipment.
I actually, oh, Bill, I actually have a funny story. You know, the company.
How funny is it?
It's
Very funny.
Yeah, it's very funny.
I'll laugh in advance.
The intelligencecareers.com sent 2 of its people to go to the museum to take pictures and to check it out, and it was actually really cool. It was amazing. But you know, when we were looking for you, I couldn't find you, and then I was like, does this place have a bar? And I said, I bet you they do. Went upstairs to the bar, and then I saw Bill chilling there, drinking, having a cold one with his old wartime buddies, while we were off working.
Chilling is really good. So I guess I'm going to handle all the serious news today, even though I did the sea perch story.
Oh Lord!
But on a more serious note, Prince William County just got exempted from a major controlling rule of the Voting Rights Act of 1965. You know, things were not always, you just couldn't show up and vote once upon a time in America. And certainly Virginia was among the most backwards of states when it came to restricting people's right to vote. But Prince William County now has been given an exemption from Section 5 of the 1965 Voting Rights Act. And what that really means, or some people call it a bailout, it means that we're able to make more changes to the way people vote and the way we do things in Prince William County, and we don't have to go to the Department of Justice in advance. It has been over 10 years since there have been any reported violations against Prince William. So basically, we have now officially been rehabilitated, I guess.
Hooray.
Hooray. I mean, that is pretty significant because most of the South and most of Virginia still is under, they can't make any voting rule, even within their own city or county, without it being reviewed by the Department of Justice first.
Wow.
We did not play well with others once upon a time.
Yeah, I best do reckon we didn't.
So, life happens, and now on with the more serious news. And in Springfield, Virginia, we have just learned that it's really in Oregon.
You are still stuck on that, aren't you?
You know, what else do you have there?
Well, actually,
I know you were full of news.
I'm going on to the PrinceWilliamLife.com blog news, and I'm going to start with sports. And obviously, as Bill has been talking about almost the entire show, the PWSI soccer season is underway, and
I've heard about that club.
Season is starting on Saturday. Bill, got anything to add about that?
Yes. One of the very finest teams is called PWSI 7. It's a U19 team, and Bill Golden is the coach of that. And we will be playing our game. Now, hey, you know, there are thousands, literally thousands of kids that play soccer and other sports. Although other sports, you know, there's only really soccer. Other sports here in Prince William County. And Prince William is a huge club, a huge, huge club. Just, I don't know how many kids are registered this season, but generally for the spring season, there should be about 26 to 2,700 kids.
That's amazing.
That is amazing. And that's just in the recreational program.
Yeah.
Anyway, but sports can be a little bit expensive too. And not everyone in Prince William County, you know, has money to spend. It's $95 to register to play, and then $35 for a uniform. And then you got to get there. And then, so it can be a little bit challenging. But here's the really good news. If you are on the school lunch program or school breakfast program, PWSI, Prince William Soccer, will actually help underwrite all of your costs. That includes uniform, that includes your registration. So I believe if you're on either the breakfast or lunch program, half of your
For the county schools.
For the county schools, yeah.
Right.
If you're not in a county school, it can be, of course, you can't be on the program because there are no lunch or breakfast programs. But I'm sure they will work with you in some way. And if not, you can always contact me because I have been with Prince William Soccer for a long time. And I'm sure we can always work out something. But yeah, soccer season starts, and there are other sports too. I don't know what they are.
How will they contact you, Bill?
Go to the print. That's a good question.
Preparation, Bill, preparation.
I am prepared because all you have to do is go to the homepage at princewilliamlife.com and look for information like about us, how to contact us, and then you will get the email and we will see how prepared you are. The Chamber of Commerce has a number of programs coming up. One of those is May 22nd is a commercial real estate showcase where they offer tips and power networking. And one of the people you really want, if you're interested in real estate, one of the people that you really want to get to know is Susan Jacobs. Susan Jacobs is, whether you want to buy, sell, rent, or you want to know anything about real estate, Susan Jacobs is absolutely one of the people that you want to meet. On May 22nd from 8:30 to 11 a.m. at the Hilton Performing Arts Center will be a power networking station, so you can learn all about what's happening in Prince William and in commercial real estate. There will be presentations on Prince William County, the cities of Manassas and Manassas Park, and what they are doing to bring business to your doorstep wherever you are, and why you should pick Prince William. Prince William is kind of a cool place, and of course that's the name of our show, so we think it's really cool. Billy Golden here. No, Bill Golden. You know, I grew up as Billy, and sometimes when I visit family, they call me Billy, and it takes me weeks to get over being Billy. So sometimes I even call myself Billy.
Oh, okay.
Do they call you Joshy?
No.
Do you have a nickname?
No, I don't. Well, I mean,
Well, that's cool.
Well, now it's starting to become Zuckerberg now, since.
Well, you know, one day you can aspire to be a billionaire too.
Hey, you know.
So, what other news do you have?
Well, I'm still with princewilliamlife.com blog. And once again, for those of you that don't know what our blog is, we have up-to-date job postings.
Oh, we do. That's right.
Jobs available in Prince William County, such as Dumfries, Gainesville, Manassas, Quantico, and Woodbridge. And then also available in your local area surrounding Prince William County, Fort Belvoir, Centerville, Fredericksburg, Manassas, Springfield, Stafford, and Warrenton. And I'm pretty sure Bill will probably go and find a really hot job that's in one of those areas right now.
Yeah, we'll tell you about some of the hot jobs here in just a moment.
And also, don't forget, you can subscribe to the blog for free. Now, I'm going to say this every single
I wanted to charge, though.
I thought you were, but then I'm like,
I couldn't find a way to get money out of the just email for free link.
Exactly.
But I would have if I could. Capitalism. Stephen Colbert, he's cool.
At its best.
That's right.
But yeah, you can subscribe to the blog for free just by entering your email, and you will receive any updates that have been added to the blog. But again, if you like hearing my lovely voice and my preparation, then you can just tune into Prince William Life Radio every Wednesday from 4:30 to 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time.
I do want to say something about you and your preparation. You do work hard to be prepared. You know, I'm the absent-minded professor, and you do your schoolwork. We have offices right next to each other, and I have the bigger office, of course, because I'm a bigger person. But no, and I'm the boss. No, we have offices right next to each other. When Josh leaves each day, his chair is pushed ever so neatly underneath his desk. If there are any papers, they are perfectly militarily straight. My office, on the other hand, looks like pick wherever some bomb went off. That is my office. But I know where everything is unless I can't find it. So jobs. We're all about jobs. We are sponsored by USA JobZoo, and you're listening to princewilliamlife.com. And what would life be without a job? Do you have a job?
Yes, I do. A really good one, actually.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's good. It's nice working with you.
Nice working with you, too.
So, where are some of the hot jobs? Where are some of the hot jobs? I will tell you. They're right on our homepage. Go to princewilliamlife.com. I meant for Josh to click a link. So he is prepared, but I think he lost his mouse. Anyway, right under the music app, which shows that we're playing Van Halen at the moment, which is just absolutely incorrect. I was with Van Halen once upon a time, and but no longer. Anyway, Dumfries, that's a lie. But, we're so close to Washington, D.C., that if half of what you say is not a lie, you're probably in the wrong place. Does that sound right?
That pretty much is right on point, Bill. Good one.
Anyway, we're going to be interviewing Al Alborn later, and he's a big libertarian in the county. And Al knows all about politics, but I digress. So here are some of the hot jobs in Dumfries, Virginia, out on the eastern end of Prince William. The Marines are looking for network engineers and systems engineers and an IT analyst. There are quite a few of these positions, and these jobs are being offered by SAIC, but you can apply by going to princewilliamlife.com. On our homepage, select the Dumfries. Here, there's a babysitter, an occasional babysitter being sought in Dumfries. There is a family with an autistic child, a young man actually, and they need someone to help out. It can be a challenge. Pizza Hut is looking for a general manager, but we have a ton more jobs in technology. A senior Oracle database person is needed. Just tons of jobs in the Dumfries area outside of Quantico, Virginia. But let's look at a couple of other jobs. Let's switch to the other end of the county. Let's go off to Gainesville. Now, last week I pushed that button, and we have a bunch more jobs this week. And Gainesville they don't have a military base out there like the eastern end of the county. So there are some cool jobs in defense industry out towards Gainesville, but they're not in Gainesville proper. Anyway, Gainesville, we have about 30, 40 jobs, and these are typical community jobs. Quite a few people actually advertising for babysitters and childcare at the moment. A summer nanny is needed. Occupational, I can't say that. Occupational therapist. Maybe I should go to one. Hey, do you have an occupational therapist for someone who's pretending to be a radio announcer? Oh, here's a cool one. A travel occupational therapist. Anyway, a ton of jobs that you're going to find in a community, but a community without industry, et cetera, et cetera. Let's look over at Manassas, see what we got. And hey, Gainesville, I do like you. I just can't find any high-tech jobs there at the moment. Otherwise, you know, I would be saying cool, but mostly I'm saying cool about Quantico. Let's look at Manassas. And I like Manassas for lots of reasons, because I like to go to the old train station. And do you ever go to Foster's at the old train station?
No, I don't.
You should. You should. Go find the train station, walk quickly across the tracks, because if you don't, you know, something bad could happen. Like, woo, woo. Anyway, there in Manassas, okay, cool. Manassas got all kinds of jobs too. They, software engineer, a network engineer, a Unix system administrator, a deployable data manager is needed with a top secret SCI clearance. Several registered nurses. Another Pizza Hut general manager is needed in Manassas. And of course, it's all about business and the ability to make money. And we love capitalism. we do love capitalism. I am hoping to make some money here any moment now. But anyway, a wireless and computer sales associate is needed. Another nanny is needed. And a Pizza Hut delivery driver job. Hey, Tim. You got some experience with
don't
this.
we know someone that delivered pizzas?
Yes, Tim worked for a, oh cool, there are so many, a Solaris administrator, Macy's at the Manassas Mall. We easily have 60 to 70 jobs, good high-tech jobs, good paying jobs in Manassas, and I'm sure the nanny gets over pretty well too. Yeah, so Tim, he's on our tech crew. He recently worked for a major pizza chain. We're not going to mention which one. Yes. But Tim went to do a pizza delivery and got robbed. And ungood for $13. Someone, took a gun and put it in his face or offered to ruin his day. Anyway.
I think he likes to relive that horrible night.
Yes, I know. So I think
Bill.
Tim has retired from the pizza delivery business. But we have tons of jobs on Prince William at any given time. You know, there are hundreds of jobs in the county, and you can find those or nearby. So much of the county, we've got job listings for Fort Belvoir, Centerville, Fredericksburg, and that's more than a 30-minute drive. But for many people, you're going in the right direction, and those are a 30-minute at 70-mile-per-hour drive, which is much better than 3 hours at 20 miles per hour. I've done that. I used to work in Roslyn, Virginia. Let me tell you, just most ungood. Most ungood. I love the job. I just didn't like going to work or coming home. Terrible. And Springfield, which is not in Oregon, but our very own Springfield, just 16 miles away, we've got jobs there. Jobs in Stafford. And if you live on the east end of the county, this may be a far hike, but if you live on the west end, in Gainesville, Warrenton, Virginia has a ton of good jobs. Let me just tell you what's in Warrenton. Since, hey, if you live out that way, well, there are a ton of jobs in Warrenton. Just trust me on this.
Nothing.
Oh my God, yes, it was a blank screen. I'm sorry. You should stay in Gainesville. I will find more jobs in Warrenton later. Now, let me leave on a even more positive note. There is a company, a high-tech, it literally is high-tech, company looking for college students right now, and that's Capital One. Capital One is one of our advertisers, and they have a very, very, very special recruiting team looking for college students and recent college graduates. Don't let it be more than recent. Like if it has been more than 6 to 9 months since you've graduated, that is not recent enough. You need to be within about 1 semester. Capital One is headquartered right up the road in Tyson's Corner, or maybe it's Vienna, or maybe it's McLean. It depends. You know, they call it Tyson's Corner for a reason. And actually, it's not a corner. It's more like a triangle. Anyway, as I was saying.
Traffic disaster.
Yes, so Capital One kind of sits there right off. But Capital One is a diversified bank that offers a broad array of financial products and services to consumers, small businesses, and commercial clients. It's a Fortune 500 company, and Capital One is looking for college students and recent graduates. This is not only in the field of finance. Now, they're not looking for bank tellers or anything. They're looking for people that understand numbers, that love to crunch numbers. Capital One also has about 160 very high-level jobs with us, and you can find those jobs. Let me tell you what some of the jobs are. All of these jobs probably easily pay at the low end $100,000 to $120,000 or more. So at the senior level, Capital One is looking for, of course, if you're in finance, you've got to comply with all kinds of rules and regulations and yada, yada, yada. But they're looking for a senior compliance specialist, a business systems analyst, senior, a senior risk representative, a senior manager for CRA business development, a senior manager for economic development, and I could go on and on, a treasury cash management solutions manager. But they're looking for technology people too. And you can find these jobs online at princewilliamlife.com. They are looking for probably 2 out of 3 jobs with Capital One are technology jobs. Now, speaking of jobs, how are your studies going, Josh? How's that A+ GPA shaping up here?
It's going pretty well. I actually have to leave soon to go all the way to Fort Belvoir for my night class, biology.
Cool. What biology, huh?
Biology part 2.
Well, how was part 1?
Good. I got.
What did you study? What did you learn?
We learned about cells and cytoplasms and.
I learned about cells. There were terrorist cells. No, different ones.
Wrong cells.
Wrong cells.
And but now we have part 2. We're learning more about the body. So.
Well, you enjoy that.
Well, before I leave, for you listeners out there, if you have an event that you would like the world to know about, you can email me at jzuckerman@intelligencecareers.com. Get a pen and paper out. Pen and paper.
Pen and paper.
Pen and paper.
Or pencil and paper.
Pencil and paper.
For people who make mistakes.
It's jzuckerman@intelligencecareers.com. And email me your event or some type of thing that you want the community to know about, and I will be glad to post it. And for those of you that came in late to listen to this radio station, the podcast will be up tomorrow morning on the Prince William Life blog website. And don't forget to like us on Facebook and Twitter.
That's right. We have our very own, we've been borrowing the country station from USA Jobs over the last couple of weeks, but we have our very own radio station now, which you can find with our player is embedded.
Oh.
Embedded.
High tech.
On our homepage, yes it is. So while, Josh, you have a, I am so tongue twisted tonight. You have a good time swimming upstream like a salmon to study biology or something like that.
I will. Good night, listeners.
Yeah, tell Fort Belvoir I said hello. I retired out of there and I go back as little as possible. So, it's basically 5:30 or a couple minutes after, and we have a very special guest this evening, Mr. Al Alborn. Now, Al has been with us on a number of other things, and God bless his heart. For those who believe in God, other than that, to whom it may concern, you blessings upon you too. Al brought coffee, and I love coffee. Yeah, we drink coffee often together. And Al has been a guest with us for a number of things over the last couple months. And as we grow, and probably our studio has changed a lot since Al was last here. How you doing, Al?
I'm doing just great, Bill. Thanks for having me on your show. Studio gets better every time.
Yeah, well, we're learning new things. We're on a new piece of software this week. We darn near had a panic attack because we have to, we're playing some music as we go along, and we have that Digital Millennium Copyright Act to worry about. And we got a notice last week, so we switched software, and then this week we couldn't get the music to play right.
Ah, bummer.
Yeah, we should have this ready by the end of the year when the world comes to an end.
Well, you know, I was listening to the radio before I drove over here, and I know you care very much about getting the facts out. So I do have to make one correction.
Oh, what's that?
You referred to me as a big libertarian.
Well, you are tall.
I have to say that for my height, my weight is quite appropriate, and I'm a normal-sized libertarian. I just want the public to rest assured I'm not really that big of a libertarian.
No, you're not. Oh, okay. So, and that's very important. We love accuracy, and if you're going to learn any wrong facts, we actually want you to learn it from us because our wrong facts are better than other people's wrong facts. And the neat thing is about our new software is you do not have to be sitting at your computer to listen to us. There is an app for that. You can download a Live 365 app, and anywhere in the world, you know, we have a North Korean listener.
Really?
Maybe they're practicing their bad English or whatever, I don't know. But yeah, so we can actually look at our listeners as they listen. We can't see what they look like.
I have that app on both my iPhone and my iPad.
Yeah, so, you know, for those of you who say, well, gosh darn it, I can't be at my computer next week, as Bill makes all of these strange statements online, just download Live 365 for your phone or iPad or whatever it is that you've got. You know, there's an app for that on almost everything, and you can listen to princewilliamlife.com each week. So, how's your day gone?
Been fabulous, very busy. It's been a great day.
Well, good. So, where have you been doing? Have you been out drinking coffee? I know you normally, I follow you on Facebook, and it's like you migrate from place to place, but you were at Corey Stewart's kickoff today, right?
Yes, I was. I went over there to the new Potomac Center, I think it's Stonebridge at Potomac Center,
right?
To watch Corey announce his campaign to be the Republican nominee for Lieutenant Governor.
Well, we wish him all the luck. I mean, if for no other reason than Corey Stewart is a homeboy.
That's right.
And whether you like Corey Stewart or not, the end of the day, he leaves Prince William County with an incredible credit rating and leaves the government in a balanced shape. And with everything we've gone through over the last 2 to 3 years, whether you like someone or not, when they leave something in good shape, you know, that's good. That's all that we can really say about that. So we'll see how the race shapes up. But let's talk about telework, because, you know, one of the things we're doing is instead of a studio like downtown, we actually have a small cubbyhole here, just blocks in the Chin Center. So we're going to declare right now the Chin Center is our international headquarters. And for you who are listening in North Korea, the Chin Center is a great place to go swimming. But you go to the Freedom Center, don't you?
I love the Freedom Center.
Probably
it's
no
a
Koreans
little bit
there,
closer.
or not North Koreans.
Well, it depends on how you define freedom. But the Freedom Center over in George Mason, fabulous facility. I'll go over there, swim, whirlpool and steam. Very nice. Run into some nice people.
Well, that's good. Prince William County has some great sports facilities, and wherever you are in the county, you do not have to leave very far to find them. So you're chairman of the Prince William County Chamber of Commerce Telework Task Force. So what's that all about?
Well, of course, for full disclosure here, Bill is on that task force and leading our technology effort. But I'm a longtime commuter, Bill, and it's became obvious to me that with today's technology, there's really not a requirement for those of us that are in the knowledge business. In other words, for those of us that drive an hour a day to look at information and add some value and move it on, to actually drive to a remote location, do that. Likewise, people in business waste weeks of every year driving back and forth to meetings. It's an opportunity cost. So to cut to the chase, the value proposition for telework is to reduce the time people spend on the road, to take that time back so they can spend it living their lives, and to make time that people waste driving back and forth to meetings or to talk to customers, so they can do that from their office, which basically allows them to grow the business, make more money, better for the economy.
Well, the more time you spend working, rather than going to work or coming from work, should result in more money. So how did you and the chamber get involved on the teleworkforce?
Well, the chamber is really progressive here. I give Brian Gordon credit. I'm on the Government Affairs Committee, and every now and then a telework topic would come up, and I'd give my elevator story. And finally, Brian turned around and said, "Well, Al, why don't you start a task force?" So I give the Prince William Chamber of Commerce credit for the vision to let us and those folks in the telework task force run with a new idea.
Sure. So would you say that if it is a good idea for the community that the Prince William Chamber of Commerce basically gives its members the freedom, the chance to step forward and go, we can make our community a better place, how about? And then they support that?
Absolutely. Of course, there's always a value proposition. I mean, these are the due diligence, which Brian, he didn't make this decision alone. He chatted with the board and the CEO of the chamber. But yes, after due diligence, if we have a good idea, we have the resources. My gosh, we have access to over 2,000 businesses for technology and domain knowledge. So we could probably put together any good idea.
And I've belonged to the Prince William Chamber for quite a while. I believe 98 or 99 is when I first belonged. And in fact, in 2000, we even won Small Business of the Year, or Home-Based Small Business of the Year. So belonged to the chamber a long time. We have always been happy with what goes on at the chamber. They did move their main office, but what the heck, it's a nice drive. I can live with that. So now technology. Now you and I, in fact, we did meet virtually earlier today, and we discovered some of the challenges of meeting virtually. We're using WebEx software by Meet Me Now for a test this coming Friday, and we were like pre-testing to make sure that everything connected the way it should, and we found that WebEx does not work well with Apple, but you were going to look for an answer for that.
It's funny you should ask, Bill. I did call Cisco, and it turns out that the version of WebEx we're using is not the latest update. And so I'll be hosting that meeting Friday. I'll be setting it up and running it. The latest version of WebEx does support Apple products for those of us that are Apple fans, and all the latest versions of Windows. As a matter of fact, I'll be asking you to test that again tomorrow.
Okay, so I know that they do have a new product, because when I log in, it says, would you like to upgrade? And here's the interesting thing about their new product. So I did become aware of it, although our system works well with our customer base, so we hadn't upgraded. But the new product is cheaper. So we currently pay $49 and some pennies per month for a 10-member anytime unlimited usage, which is pretty cool if you're going to connect with your customers around the world. But the new product is only $19.99 per month for unlimited usage. But for whatever reason, it restricts you to only 8 people participating in a meeting. So I will try that tonight or first thing tomorrow morning, and we'll send out new instructions, and we'll do a new test tomorrow. So that's good. I'm glad you followed up on that, because the new product also, and WebEx has been bought out by Cisco, and Cisco is trying to do great and wonderful things, and we all should. It does advertise that it can connect to about everything. And I know I use, my cell phone is like a small computer, and you're an Apple.
Apple, iPad, iPhone, MacBook Pro.
Yeah, I mean, we should just name you Apple Alborn, because you were a PC BlackBerry person a year ago, right?
I had one of the original full keyboard BlackBerries issued in Washington, D.C.
And you made the switch, and the switch has been pretty much...
Haven't seen a blue screen of death since.
Hey, we can... that is actually something that we would like to get past. Now, you were at Corey Stewart's kickoff today. Is there any standout comment or statement that he made? Did he give a vision?
Yes. As a matter of fact, the location was brilliant. Basically, it was the new Potomac Center, I think Potomac Center at Stonebridge. And we stood in the middle of blocks of construction of new high-end retail. which is jobs. And Corey's vision is for the state, jobs and transportation to get people to the jobs. And so that's sort of the elevator story. And I buy that. I mean, of course, I'm a fan of Corey's for the reasons you mentioned earlier. I mean, we've got 3 AAA bond ratings. We've got the lowest unemployment rate, lowest taxes in Northern Virginia. We weathered really tough times. But to see the same type of leadership migrate to Richmond with a focus on jobs and how to get them there, I find that, and small government.
Right.
Yep.
And in fact, one of your issues on small government has been a concern about money that county supervisors hand out. And if I understand it right, Corey Stewart has access to the same money, but his position is he hasn't handed it out to community organizations.
That's correct. Basically,
so why don't you cover that kind of topic in the big view?
Sure. Basically, and by the way, I love our supervisors in Prince William County, and they all know that while I criticize maybe things I don't like, and we have an obligation to do that, I'm very happy with our county government. This particular issue has to do with something called supervisor funds. These are funds that are issued to county supervisors and our chairman.
And some people may have heard them referred to as discretionary funds.
Yes, that's right. But actually, they are supervisor funds. And over time, and it's not rocket science to figure out what happened, people noticed there's absolutely no policy of what to do with these funds. And so they were increased over time to create a surplus. So you can either spend all of it on your office or spend less creating a discretionary fund. Now,
A slush fund, a public slush fund.
Well, slush fund's a common word. A lot of people use that, but discretionary fund or slush fund. And, what this really is it demonstrates a flaw in our budget process. I mean, if we're giving supervisors more than they need to run an office, and there's no policy with how to use it, the potential for abuse is incredible. Now, I won't mention the specifics, but public who follow this issue are aware of a number of instances of the appearance of impropriety and perhaps bad judgment.
Well, we did have some months ago one supervisor from Prince William that tried to donate, actually did donate $100,000 to an organization.
And he didn't actually donate it. That was another supervisor objected, and the blogs caught it.
Right.
A wonderful organization, by the way, toured it personally, but the appearance of impropriety bothered a lot of people. He did nothing wrong legally, and I'm sure in his heart he thought he was right, but it just caught him by surprise, and that's the issue. Now, we're one of the Virginia Council of
Good Governments.
Counties, and the National Association of Counties. Washington Post contacted both of them, and most counties have done away with anything that appears to be a slush fund. That is unregulated money free from policy or any rigorous oversight. We're one of the few counties that hang on to it. It's an issue that's not going to go away. I've noticed distributions have went down quite a bit, which is good.
But has there been any move to change the legal status of that?
Absolutely not. If you go to the budget database in the Prince William County Office of Management and Budget and the government website, I asked that question, and in spite of incredible public outrage, a committee of 100 panel that just people went wild over the fact they exist, blogs and embarrassment in the Washington Post, we still hang on to discretionary funds. They will go away because public outrage is there. Some of our supervisors don't touch them at all, Corey being one. Candlin hasn't touched them since he took office. Mike May is very conservative with his discretionary funds. I give Frank Principe holds his office to 3%. He gives all of our supervisors are getting better, but we need policy on their use and proper budgeting on the distribution of money intended to support the business of being a supervisor.
So, because it really comes down to, these are public tax dollars.
This is our money.
Our money. If they're not going to be spent to support a supervisor and doing their job better, then that money should go back to the county.
You know, the real issue, I write checks. I just did my income tax. Like we all do, I must have written, I don't know, a dozen checks to local organizations. I spent a lot of time deciding which charitable distributions to make. I am really offended that a supervisor would take my tax dollars and decide which charity, or to pick winners or losers with my money that should be left to the citizens. Those should be our choices. Government should not pick winners and losers. Now, we have a number of community partners, worthwhile charities that do it quicker, faster, cheaper than the government. I support them, and I support that list, and I believe that those that make it through the budget process as the best value and responsible use and measures deserve tax support. It's the discretionary use of our money taken out of our pockets to make judgments that we should be making that offends me. And
well,
I'm not going to give up on that subject if it lasts 3 years. That's
well,
fine.
good. We'll have to keep tracking this, and we have tracked it on Prince William Life. We've published a number of articles, some by you and some by others that have been following this issue for about the last certainly 4, if not 6 months. And we will keep people up to speed as to what's going on there. Now, you just endorsed Corey Stewart, who's the Prince William Republican Party nominee for governor, or actually he's with the Republican Party and from Prince William for lieutenant governor. You just endorsed him on your blog. Have you, and on Prince William Life, that's been republished, have you, so do you plan to be active in the Corey Stewart campaign, or?
I'm an independent voter. I do take sides. I believe it's our civic duty to take sides for those things we believe in. I may make some modest contribution if he needs people to collect names or something. That I tend to stay out of the mechanics of politics.
Right.
I try to stay away from the political events that are party endorsements, even though I lean right. It's no secret. But I like to remain an independent voter.
Well, early in the program, I was letting people know that I'm an independent as well, and I truly mean that. Now, we have a lot of news items that talks about Republicans, both on our blog and on our program, but I want you to know, and I'm very sincere in this, and I said it earlier in the program, that I don't belong to any particular political party. And if you want to come on princewilliamlife.com and discuss an issue, et cetera, unless you're a raving lunatic, I really don't care what party you belong to. I would love to have you, and if you're willing to do 20 questions, I'm willing to ask them. Now, you are an independent, but you're kind of a unique independent. You tend to not only you tend to describe yourself as a libertarian. So what is that all about?
Well, libertarian is actually, by the most definitions, maybe 20 to 25% of the voting public, because we're those independent voters who are fiscally conservative and socially tolerant. Our elevator story is simple. We believe in a world where nobody hurts anyone else or takes their stuff, and are the first to rise in those cases of injustice where there are people who do want to hurt other people or take their stuff. We believe in liberty, free markets, and peace. Liberty is to make our own choices, the right to privacy, the right to believe what we wish, to act as we wish, as long as we don't hurt other people or take their stuff. Free markets is basic economics. Everything we do is motivated by economics, everything. And that's the basic fair exchange between people, whether it be goods or services or labor, and peace. And peace is how we protect the first two.
But now, you are also active, or at least you participate in a number of Cato Institute. So why don't you tell us a little bit about the Cato Institute, and maybe some of your experiences in different groups there. Yagovoroporoski, you often send me items in Russian about a libertarian group in Russia.
Das.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about Cato, and maybe some of your experiences as a libertarian or as you've explored the world of libertarianism.
Well, I've been a Cato sponsor for years and participate in their annual Cato University, most of them, in a number of Cato events. Ironically, Cato's motto is liberty, free markets, and peace. And it's a think tank, a relatively independent think tank that ponders and publishes on a libertarian perspective on issues of interest to the public. Obviously on health care, gun control. Matter of fact, a member of the, Dr. Tom Palmer was a co-defendant in a case that went before the district court to overturn the District of Columbia's gun ownership rules. You know, that's not enamored with guns. We actually were competing with the NRA on that, but as a matter of Second Amendment issues. Constitutional government is the foundation of Cato and American libertarians.
Now, that's always an interesting topic, constitutional government, because sometimes it seems like people are reading from different constitutions. So, but we'll have to come back to that. In fact, on the gun thing in Washington, it actually took another court to order the District of Columbia to open a gun store, because if you have the right to possess a gun, you should have the ability to also go buy one.
That's correct.
Interesting situation, because I guess there was so much red tape after the case that the court then came in and ordered the District of Columbia that if they couldn't find someone to operate a gun store, that the city itself would have to operate one.
And obviously what they were doing was not complying with the intent of the law, of the ruling.
Right. Yeah, so it is an interesting world we live in. Now, politics is one aspect of Al Alborn, but being outdoors, because I follow you on Facebook, and I'm always seeing, besides at least 5 to 6 different postings about coffee every day, whether kinds of coffee or just silly little things about coffee. You often are outdoors. You were just at an event, I believe, this past weekend, right?
Yes. What was I doing this past weekend?
The Master Gardener.
I'm a Virginia Cooperative Extension and Service Master Gardener, have been for 10 years, and a Audubon Society of Northern Virginia Audubon at Home Ambassador. And basically, I'm a small government libertarian. And you're saying, well, Al, why should you make that comment now?
Well, Al, why should you make that comment now?
I'm glad you asked, Bill. I really am. I believe that we should focus on things that people can do on their own initiative to make the world a better place. We don't always have to wait for government regulations to tell us what to do. And in this case, environmental issues are important to me. For those familiar with the Chesapeake Bay Act or Department of Environmental Quality's guidance on TMDL loading into our water, polluting our water. These rules are complex, complicated, subject to lots of lawsuits, and they're way behind in giving us guidance. So in the meantime, myself and other master gardeners and Audubon ambassadors are wandering around the county working with homeowners and property owners to teach them how to make their property a bit healthier and environmentally friendly, which also is an improvement to the water quality in the watershed. We've finished certifying 3 Prince William County historical sites, for example. We certified the Prince William County landfill, which for those that don't know it has a beautiful buffer area, one of the most beautiful spots in Prince William County behind the landfill.
And it also has contributed to parkland over the years, because as they grow the landfill, then the older parts of the landfill get turned into park.
We hope. There's a lot of plans for the landfill. Not an expert on the final disposition, because technology is changing the final disposition. As we become smarter with recycling and waste disposal, plans to expand the landfill naturally slow down and our options open up. Right now they're working on a solar farm, on the, or excuse me, a wind farm on the, I believe, Marty Noe can correct me if I'm wrong, because but they're doing some very innovative things out there with energy collection. It's just a fabulous place. It's the best landfill in the country, recognized, and a certified Audubon at Home wildlife sanctuary.
Well, you're not going to see or find that at just anywhere. Prince William is a cool place.
It is a very cool place.
You learn something all the time. Now, you had a posting on Facebook earlier today. I believe there's an event coming up this weekend. I could be wrong. I should have made a note about that. But for those of you, you had posted a picture of a poster with a phone number and something about meet me at the garden.
Oh, that's the teaching garden. We have a teaching garden, we the Master Gardeners of Prince William County, at the Benedictine Monastery off of Vint Hill Road. And every Saturday, I believe it's at 9 o'clock, we basically teach a subject during the good weather. And it's, if you haven't been to the teaching garden, it's worth going just to enjoy looking at the various exhibits. And if you want to learn about how to maintain your yard or other horticultural practices, go out there on a Saturday morning. If you search under Virginia Cooperative Extension of Master Gardeners, you'll get our schedule. You'll find we offer a number of classes in a variety of areas, help you with your garden, your yard, a variety of topics.
Well, that's good. And another way you can help this weekend is April 14th, a major effort is being made to clean up the Occoquan River, both the river itself and along its banks. And if you go on to princewilliamlife.com, just put in the keywords Occoquan River, or we have an events calendar and look for April 14th, and you can find all the information. They are looking for more people, especially people who are experienced in kayaking, because they have a number of kayaks that have been donated for the cleanup effort. Of course, they got to give the kayaks back. So you don't get to keep your kayak if you volunteer, but they need some people who are going to go out on the river, and the area is a little bit less accessible by foot, where they have to be accessed by, and it's all up and down the Occoquan River. They need your help. Go to princewilliamlife.com. I'll repost the link on the homepage so you can find it really easy. And they're looking for volunteers. So as we look at Prince William in the next couple weeks or month, anything out there that people should be thinking about?
Well, if you are interested in having your property certified as a wildlife sanctuary, give Prince William County Cooperative Extension a call. Get outdoors. The weather's beautiful.
Well, good. Anything in the chamber upcoming that, now you work on a couple of different committees.
Government affairs, and basically right now we are in the process of watching legislation out of Richmond, and I believe it's May 1st we're having a chamber event for all of you Chamber of Commerce members out there to meet with our representatives, our state senators and delegates, to basically chat with them. We actually issue a report card on basically their record on business issues of interest to Prince William County, and give them feedback.
And on May 22nd, there is a large real estate, everything you ever want to know about commercial real estate in Prince William County. That is being sponsored by the Chamber. Again, information will be posted and reposted on our website, and just look for our calendar, May 22nd, if you're interested in commercial real estate. And also the Chamber and different partners throughout the county will be looking to help you learn how you can make money and how commercial property management and practices can help you make money or improve the money that you do make. And if you can't make more, you might as well be more efficient with what you do. Well, I want to thank you for coming today. And it's always a pleasure. And I know we're going to meet again next week. Anytime you want, just let us know. We hope to begin going, once we get a couple more technical kinks out, we hope to be broadcasting live at least 4 to 6 hours per week.
Very good.
And we have, we're just doing all kinds of great and wonderful things. So thank you for joining us, and I'll see you for coffee again later this week.
And Bill, thank you very much for having me on. It was my pleasure.
Take care.
PrinceWilliamLife.com radio. News, music, and local events 24/7.